What the meaning? Manyu, Manu, Mahinasa, Mahān, Shiva, Ṛtadhvaja, Ugraretā, Bhava, Kāla, Vāmadeva, Dhṛtavrata, all the names of Rudra. Translation by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. Lord Brahma said, "My dear Rudra, you have 11 other names. Manyu, Manu, Mahinasa, Mahān, Shiva, Ṛtadhvaja, Ugraretā, Bhava, Kāla, Vāmadeva and Dhṛtavrata." Please repeat the translation. Lord Brahma said, "My dear boy Rudra, you have 11 other names. Manyu, Manu, Mahinasa, Mahān, Shiva, Ṛtadhvaja, Ugraretā, Bhava, Kāla, Vāmadeva, Dhṛtavrata." Next sloka, I'll recite myself. Dhīr dhruti rasa loma cha niyut sarpir ilambika iravati swada diksha rudranyo rudrate striyaha. O Rudra, you also have 11 wives called the Rudranis, and they are as follows: Dhi, Dhruti, Rasala, Uma, Niyut, Sarpi, Ila, Ambika, Iravati, Swada and Diksha. Grahanaitani namani sthanani chasa yoshanaya ye bishruja praja bahvi prajanam asi yatpatihi. My dear boy, you may now accept all the names and places designated for you and your different wives. And since you are now one of the masters of the living entities, you may increase the population on a large scale. Purport. Brahma, as the father of Rudra, selected the wives of his son, his living places and his names as well. It is natural that one should accept the wife selected by one's father, just as a son accepts the name given by the father, or he accepts the property offered by the father. That is the general course in increasing the population of the world. On the other hand, the Kumaras did not accept the offering of their father because they were elevated far beyond the business of generating a great number of sons. As the son can refuse the order of the father for higher purposes, so the father can refuse to maintain his sons in increasing population because of higher purposes. Iti adishtaha swaguruna bhagavan nilalohitaha sattva kruti swabhavena sasarja atma samah prajaha. The most powerful Rudra, whose bodily color was blue mixed with red, created many offspring exactly resembling him in features, strength and furious nature. Rudranam rudrashashtanam samantad grasatam jagat nishamya asankyaso yutan prajapatir asankata. The sons and grandsons generated by Rudra were unlimited in number, and when they assembled together, they attempted to devour the entire universe. When Brahma, the father of the living entity, saw this, he became afraid of the situation. Purport. The generations of Rudra, the incarnations of anger, were so dangerous to the maintenance of universal affairs that even Brahma, the father of the living entities, became afraid of them. The so-called devotees or followers of Rudra are also a menace. They are sometimes dangerous even to Rudra himself. Descendants of Rudra sometimes make plans to kill Rudra by the grace of Rudra. That is the nature of his devotees. Presents the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timira Andasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namavom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this is continuation of the last class, where we saw when Brahma became angry, a son was generated who was of the color of blue and red, and he started crying. Because he was crying very anxiously, he was named Rudra. And he had asked his father, "Give me my name and my place to stay." So for that purpose, he's been assigned, the last class we saw, the places and all where he is to be situated. Now his names have been designated here. All the 11 names of the Rudras: Manyu, Manu, Mahinasa, Mahān, Shiva, Ṛtadhvaja, Ugraretā, Bhava, Kāla, Vāmadeva and Dhṛtavrata. So these are the names as per Bhagavatam here. In some other places, different names have been given. In different times, different names, different personalities. That variation is there. Various Puranas, various names will be changing. In one more place only, different names of Shiva is coming in Bhagavatam itself. So always what happens, different days of Brahma, different personalities accept this portion. Sometimes Jivas become Rudras, sometimes Lord Shiva himself expands as Rudras. So accordingly, according to their activities, their names will be designated. So that is the variation, what we see. Then 11 Rudranis, the wives of Rudra have been selected. They are Dhir, Dhriti, Rasaloma, Niyut, Sarpir, Ila, Ambika, Iravati, Swada, Diksha. All these 11 Rudrayanis are there, the wives of Rudra. Then he says, Grahana etani namani. Please accept Grahana etani namani, all these names. Sthanani cha, and the places for your residence. Cha sa yoshanayaha, your wives. Yebi shruja praja bahvi. Shruja, create. Prajaha, the people, population. Bahvi, in unlimited number. Prajanam asi yat patihi. Because you are the master of creation, one of the Prajapatihi. So create the population in unlimited category. Bahvi. More numbers is required. Because Brahma wanted to fill this universe. So in that purport, Prabhupada explains, should the son accept the wife chosen by the father? So Prabhupada says, it is natural because one should accept the name given by the father, the property given by the father. So similarly, one has to accept the wife given by the father. But when can the father refuse to maintain his children? As the son can refuse the order of the father for higher purposes, so the father can refuse to maintain his sons in increasing population because of higher purposes. So either ways it is possible. A son can refuse, like the circumstances we saw was Kumaras saying no to Brahma for a higher purpose. So here, father also sometimes can refuse to maintain, the son is not obedient as per the father's command. And father for a higher purpose also can say no to the son. So these two contexts have been explained. Then further it says, Iti adishtaha sva guruna. Because father is in the position of a spiritual master. Iti adishtaha, being ordered by Brahma, who is like Guru. Bhagavan Nilalohitaha, Lord Shiva, whose bodily color is of blue and red mixed. Nilalohitaha. Sattva akruti swabhavena. Sattva, by their prakriti, by their character. Akruti, by their form. Swabhavena, by his power, bodily features, and by his very furious mode. Sasarja Atma Samah Prajaha. He created offsprings who are all equal to him in these three qualities. His power, his features, and his fiery mode. So all the population were of the same category like Lord Shiva. Sasarja, he created. Atma Samaha, equivalent to him. Yutan, Nishamya, by seeing Brahma. Asankyataha, these unlimited numbers. The family of Rudra. Prajapatir Ashankata, he became bewildered. Lord Brahma became disturbed in this situation. Array, just now I started constructing the universe and you people are ready to devour whatever I have done. So he was feeling that perspective, this is not the time for devastation. So now, right now, the creation has to happen, and in the initial stage itself, we are trying to devour whatever has been. Actually, they even attacked Brahma. They wanted to devour Brahma. So that will be there in the next verse. He says, even I saved myself from this demoniac population. He says to Shiva, better don't create. Because you are creating more problem than what is actually supposed to be. I wanted a population which will enhance the universe. But you are creating a population which will destroy the universe, which is not fitting into the purpose. So the whole context is understanding who is Lord Shiva and what is his role in this material world. Because he has been given places, he has been given names. So about this Rudra and Ṛtadhvaja, there is one concept in one purport Prabhupada explains. If one strictly follows the process of bhakti, he has no fear of death, for he is predestined to go back home, back to Godhead. This is everywhere as per Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. If you engage in devotional service, you will go back home, back to Godhead. The non-devotees are fearful of death because they have no guarantee of where they are going or the type of body that they are going to get in their next life. As per their karma, they will be thrown in this 84 lakh species. So they are not sure what will be their body because they have done so much unwanted activities, that sinful activities. So they are not sure of their destination. The word Ṛtadhvaja is significant in this verse because Rudra himself is speaking of fear of Rudra. This indicates that there are many Rudras, 11 Rudras. And the Rudra, Lord Shiva, who was offering this prayer to the Supreme Lord, is different from the other Rudras. This is basically from Rudra Gita. Lord Shiva spoke the highest philosophy to Prachetas, encouraging them to engage in devotional service. Because they were also ordered there by their father, engage in tapasya and create the population. So they thought before creating population, they let us purify ourselves with the consciousness, so they went to engage in tapasya. So Lord Shiva, being compassionate upon them, he met them on the way and he instructed them a song personally sung by him, so that they could meditate upon the Supreme Lord and they could achieve the ultimate benefit of having the audience of the Lord. And they actually got it. Although he is as powerful as they are, the conclusion is that one Rudra is afraid of another Rudra because each and every one of them is engaged in the destruction of this cosmic manifestation. Except for the devotee, everyone is afraid of Rudra, even Rudra himself. A devotee is never afraid of Rudra because he is always secure, being protected by the lotus feet of the Lord. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Kaunteya pratijanehi name bhakta pranashyati. My devotee, O Arjuna, you declare to the whole world that my devotee will never be vanquished under any circumstances. So even in these 11 Rudras, each one is capable of destroying the other, even though all are powerful enough. So that's why it is called as Ṛtadhvaja. Their whole purpose is to destroy the universe. In one more place, it says, one should worship the Rudra incarnations of Lord Shiva if he wants to be a great hero. This is in 2nd canto, 3rd chapter. Each demigod, what is his speciality? If you worship him, what do you get? So if you want to become a great hero, you have to worship Lord Shiva. Anybody is interested? So according to what is this meaning of Shiva, Rudra, Shankara, various names we know. So in Vishnu Sahasranama, one place, Lord is also called as Shankara. So what does actually meaning is as per Vishnu Sahasranama? Rudra means one who makes all people cry at the time of cosmic dissolution. Because when you are about to devastate, seeing that heavy fire, at the time of devastation, there will be Ananta Shesha at the bottom of the universe. He starts emitting fire from his mouth. Because of that fire, the top sun, whom we get from the top, the sun will blaze like 12 times the regular sun. One sun, 45 degrees, we are not able to tolerate. 12 times means, can understand, 45 into 12. That will be the temperature. Everything will be burnt to ashes. Living or non-living, everything will be burnt to ashes. And this will continue for so many years. Then once everything is put to dust, then there will be heavy rain, and which will inundate the entire universe. So he does what is auspicious for all, whether they desire enjoyment of worldly pleasures or whether they seek release. That's why he is known as Shiva, the auspicious. He is the cause of bondage for worldly existence and is also the release therefrom. Because he is the master of Maya, he can engage people to become entangled in this material world, or he can persuade them to become free from this material world. As a spiritual master, because he is the greatest Vaishnava, as a guru. Then he is also the God who rules over the Pitas. He is auspicious for those who do auspicious things and inauspicious for those who do inauspicious things. So these are the various meanings given there. Further, on other related subjects, he is also known as Ashutosha, who is very easily pleased. Prachetasaha, who is extremely wise. Midutstama, the highest of all. Ishana, the overlord. Swayambhu, self-generated. Trayambaka, three-eyed. So these are the various names which we come across in Rigveda and all the Vedic literatures. With these specific names, Lord Shiva is always addressed. So the qualities of Lord Shiva and the mood and understanding from Bhagavatam in certain chapters in 4th canto, Lord Shiva has been glorified elaborately. So first we will see what is his mood. Kastam characharam gurum nirvairam shanta vigraham atmaramam katam dveshti jagato daivatam mahat. Lord Shiva, he is known as tam characharam gurum jagataha. Lord Shiva is chara achara guru, spiritual master for all moving and non-moving entities, jagatam, in the entire universe. Next, he is nirvairam, he is free from enmity. Then shanta vigraham, he is very peaceful personality. And atmaramam, he is always self-satisfied. And daivatam mahat, he is the greatest among all the demigods. Then kastvam katam dveshti, how could Daksha become envious of this personality if he is having so many good qualities? So this question was put forward by Vidura to Maitreya. If a person with so many good qualities, how he can be envied by somebody? How Daksha became angry upon such a person who has so many good qualities? So further it says, the last part again in 4th canto, last part, it glorifies the Prachetas. When they saw the Supreme Lord, because of their tapasya, they glorify the momentary association what they got with Lord Shiva. Because if you have to receive the mercy of the Lord, you should have the mercy of the spiritual master. And they accept Lord Shiva as their spiritual master, and they glorify the position of spiritual master by saying, Vayam tu sakshat bhagavan bhavasya priyasya sakyu ksanasangamena sudikshita yasya bhavasya mrutyor bishaktamam pravadya gatim gatasma. They are saying, Tu Sakshat Bhagavan, my dear Lord, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, Lord Vishnu, and Bhavasya Kshana Sangamena, by a momentary association with Lord Shiva, who is Priyasya, very dear to you, Sakyuhu, who is your most intimate friend, we were fortunately able to attain his association. Then, Bishaktamam, you are the most expert physician. Lord is the most expert physician. How? Sujikshatasya yasya bhavasya mrutyor. He can cure the eternal disease of cycle of birth and death. A physician can cure the disease. And our 4 diseases are Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. And Lord has the perfect medicine to cure these uncurable diseases. On account of great fortune, Vayam Tva Adya, today, we, Gatim Gatasma, we are able to attain your shelter at your lotus feet. Because of his association. So they are glorifying the position of Lord Shiva. And they glorify his qualities, he says, Tato Agni Marutau Rajan, Agni Marutaha, by wind and by fire. Shri Radha Govinda Ki. Oh my dear king, Rajan, the position of Lord Shiva is Agnihi Marutaha, Amunchan Mukato Rusha. When they become angry, they emanate from their mouth the fire and wind, Amunchan, which came out, which emitted, Mahim Nirvirudam Kartum. On this earth, there were no more trees. They destroyed the trees, like in the annihilation. As soon as the fire with air comes, it burns everything to ashes. Samvartaka iva atyaye. Atyaye, at the time of cosmic dissolution. Samvartaka iva, like the Samvartaka fire which burns everything to ashes. The Prachetas, when they became angry at the trees that were grown across the world, so they destroyed with their vision all the trees that were grown here. Like Lord Shiva, how he destroys everything at the time of cosmic annihilation. So understanding the position of Lord Shiva is at the last moment, at the devastation. What he does, Tandava Nritya, it is said. He dances. He dances in such a way that everything becomes shaken. There will be heavy earthquakes, everything will follow because of his severe dancing. Nobody will be able to tolerate that dancing. So, in entire Bhagavatam, the appearance of Lord Shiva is explained in various places. It says, his form is like a mystic yogi with dark matted hair, body covered in ashes, and practicing austerity. His throat is bluish in color because of drinking poison. What is his name? When we drink poison? Nilakanta. Because the throat became bluish in color. Then his vehicle is Nandi. His instrument is Damaru. Then what is his relationship with Vishnu? Vaishnavanam Yata Shambho. In 12th canto it is said, he is the greatest of all the Vaishnavas. And in the Brahma Samhita it says, Kshiram Yada Dadivikara Vishesha Yogat. Lord is like milk, Lord Shiva is like curds. Both are based off milk products only. He is almost equivalent to the Lord. But can we equate him? It says, Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudradi Daivatai Samatvenaiva Viksheta Sapashindi Bhavedruvam. If you try to equate him with Lord Vishnu, we become atheistic in nature. Pashandihi. He is an expansion of the Lord, but he is not equal with the Lord again. Simultaneously one and different in nature. Then, his ideal position is realized when one takes on the worship of Lord Vishnu. Because you will be able to recognize the glories of one more Vaishnava only when become a Vaishnava. Or else we will be thinking they are all crazy people. Simply not doing any activity. Whole day they will be sitting in one place, either crying or singing or chanting something. No activity they will be thinking. But they don't know whatever they are doing, that is the highest activity. All other activities we are doing are shrameva hi kevalam. Only the activity what they are doing is to going to take, because that is the activity which is pleasing the Lord. And they are doing as per the Lord's direction. And we are doing against the Lord's direction. That is our problem. So only when we become a Vaishnava, we will be able to ascertain the qualities of another Vaishnava. Then, he is pleased with those who surrender to Lord Vasudeva. Because his whole idea is, as a spiritual master, to bring everyone and make them surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord. As the devotees surrender, the Guru becomes very happy. And he wishes to see the Lord's personal form. Because always this Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan future, always there will be confusion. But here Lord Shiva is specifically saying, I wish to see that personal form of your Lord. I don't want to get lost into that Paramatma future or Brahman effects. Means he is stressing about that Bhagavan future. Focus more on the personality, not on that impersonal level of understanding. Then, how does he distribute his mercy? Lord Shiva is in charge of which mode? Tamoguna. But is he part of Tamoguna? No. So what is he doing? Why is he taken in charge of the Tamoguna? Who and all falls under Tamoguna? Ghosts, Rakshasas, demons, Asuras. So by taking his shelter, Those who are in bodily conception will gradually understand that they are not this material body but spirit soul. So he tries to elevate their position from gross tamoguna to spiritual platform. He raises the mode of ignorance to spirituality. Then further, he is the Gunavatara and he is also known as Bhutanatha, the worshipable deity of dull-headed people or ghosts. Bhutanatha, the master of bhutas. He takes the charge of reforming persons who are ghosts and demons, because they are all forsaken by the Lord. The atheistic people are not bothered by the Lord. So somebody has to give an opportunity for them to revive from their fallen position, and Lord Shiva takes that responsibility to revive these fallen people. That's why he is known as Bhutanatha. And he is known as well-wisher or greatest of all thinkers. He is always thinking how to deliver the demons. Thus he has incarnated as Ṛtadhvaja Acharya. He is also considered as a representation of Sadashiva, a Vaikuntha personality. Then he is like a father to all those wishing for their welfare and chastising them for their own benefit. Father, whenever he sees son is doing well, he will encourage them. But whenever he sees that son going off track, he will try to put him under place. So whenever demigods, they become little, proud, Lord Shiva would try to punish them. This Daksha Yajna is one of the principles. He wanted to punish all those who have become proud of their birth, wealth, power or anything, which are actually material qualities, which one should not rely upon. So Lord Shiva was teaching them a lesson. If you unnecessarily become proud, it will be simply a menace to the others. It will be only a problem for the others. So he is trying to correct all the people who are all involved in the process. Then, what is his character? He is very silent and tolerant. Even though Daksha cursed him, although he is capable of counter cursing him, he remained silent and he was very tolerant. Then, he was morose and disappointed seeing the chaos, the fighting and immaturity of the people when they are cursing each other. Even though the greatest of the Brahmanas, they were all engaged in sacrifice, they lost their sense of discrimination. That's why it is called as immaturity. They are not able to recognize his Vaishnava position. Then, what was he doing when Daksha came? He was always meditating on Lord Vasudeva. He was offering continuous obeisances to the Lord within his mind. That's why you always see Lord Shiva in meditative posture. Then, he is always renounced. He stays underneath a tree. He doesn't have a house for him to build. So one day when everybody recommended, "Arey, you are staying under the house, you are a family man, you have a wife, you have to build a house, Grihastha Dharma." So then he had built a house. Then for a housewarming ceremony, some of the pujaris were invited to take care of the facilities and all. At the end of the housewarming ceremony, you have to give dakshina. So he gave the house and again came out of the house. So again he went back under the tree. He said, "Better I am here." So like that he is known as Nirapatrapa. There is no shelter for him. Fixed shelter. Then he is very inspiring. He spoke Rudra Gita to Prachetas for attaining the Supreme Lord. So Bhagavatam in many places has identified his qualities with various aspects, attributes. So I could find almost 33 qualities. First one is he is known as Anagase, he is faultless. Shīlavatam Shreshtaha, he is the best among the gentle. He is Characharam Gurum, spiritual master of the entire world. Nirvairam, he is without enmity. Shanta Vigraham, having a peaceful demeanor. Atma Ramam, he is a self-satisfied personality. Apratidruhi, he is who is not envious of others. Amartya, he is the immortal Lord. Atishayanaha, he is having no rival. Priya Atmanaha, one who is very beloved. Mukta Vairake, who is free from all enmity. Mahattamaha, he is the greatest among personalities. Bahuli Karishnavaha, he greatly magnifies even a small good activity, he shows in a very big picture. Pavitra Kirtim, whose fame is very pure. Alangya Shashanam, whose order is never neglected. Vishwa Bandhave, who is the friend of all living entities within these three worlds. Mahata Mahiyasha, who is worshipped by great sages and saints. Bhatta, an expert in battle. Samshanta Vigraham, the grave and saintly personality. Adishwaram, the master of the senses. Vishwa Suhrudam, the friend of the whole world. Loka Mangalam, auspicious for everyone. Mangala Mangalanam, the most auspicious personality among all auspicious things. Miduh Tamaha, the best of the benedictors. Anukrosha Hrudayaha, very kind-hearted. Narayana Paraha, the greatest devotee of Narayana. Deva Devaha, the best of the demigods. Bhuta Bhavanaha, the cause of happiness and flourishing of all. Para Avara Atma Ashrayam, the shelter of all living entities. Avyakta Karmanaha, whose activities are unknown for everyone. Maha Ishwaraha, a great ruler. Sarva Bhuta Suhrud, the friend of all living entities. So these are some of the qualities, because a Vaishnava is with unlimited qualities. And a personality like Lord Shiva, who is neither Jiva nor Vishnu, he is in between. He has got 85% of the Lord's qualities. Jiva has only 78%. So he is beyond the Jiva's perspective. So he's how compassionate is he? Is explained in when that demigods had approached Lord Shiva from solution from that Kāla Visha, which had emanated while churning the ocean. They had prayed to him, please rescue us. So what did he say? He says, Pumsa Krupayato Bhadre Sarvatmana Priyate Harihi Prite Haro Bhagavati Priyeham Sacharacharaha Tasmadidam Garam Bunje Prajanam Swasti Rastume. He says, oh my dear Bhadre, oh my dear wife Bhavani, Pumsa Krupayataha, one who performs benevolent activities for others. Sarvatma Priyate Harihi. So Lord Hari, who stays in everyone's heart, he becomes very satisfied when you help others. And Prite Haro Bhagavati, when the Lord is pleased. Priye Aham Sacharacharaha, I become pleased and all living entities become pleased. When the Lord is pleased, everybody becomes pleased. Therefore, Tasmadidam Garam Bunje, let me drink this poison. And Prajanam Swasti Rastume, so that all living entities may become happy because of me. So that was like how he was compassionate. He is trying to be merciful towards all living entities. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, about Lord Shiva is also explained in the context. It says, Ananta Brahmande Rudra Sadashivera Amsha. So Rudra in Ananta Brahmanda, he is Sadashivera Amsha. Gunavatara Tenho, he is in charge of Guna Avatara. Sarvadeva Avatamsha, and he is the ornament of all the demigods in all the endless universes. So there are 11 expansions of Rudra. They are known as Ajay Kapat, Ahibhadrana, Virupaksha, Raivata, Hara, Bahurupa, Devashreshta, Trayambaka, Savitra, Jayanta, Pinaki, Aparajita. Again we saw different names here. Besides these expansions, there are 8 forms of Rudra. They are called as earth, water, fire, air, sky, the sun, the moon, and Somayaji, where the Rudra stays in all these elements. In the last verse, that was the subject. Generally, all these Rudras have 5 faces, 3 eyes, and 10 arms. Sometimes it is found that Rudra is compared to Brahma and considered a living entity. But when Rudra is explained to be a partial expansion of the Supreme Lord, he is compared to Shesha. So generally, in Lord Shiva's neck, we all see one snake. Who is this snake? He is Sheshanaga. He wanted to carry his Guru always with him. So he always carries that Sheshanaga within his neck. Because one wants to always associate with his Guru. So because Lord Sankarshana is the Guru of Lord Shiva, he always carries his representative, a snake in his neck. Tenho karena Krishnera dasya pratyasa nirantara kahe Shiva muni Krishna Dasa. So what does he say? Karena Krishnera dasya pratyasa. He always desires pratyasha. He always desires to be a servant of the Lord. Nirantara kahe. Always he says, Muni Krishna Dasa. I am a servant of Lord Krishna. So one day, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a personality in his house, family life, Aradina Shiva Bhakta Shiva Gunagaya. He came in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house and he started glorifying glories of Lord Shiva. Prabhura Angane Nache Damaru Bajaya. Then he started dancing and he was playing the Damaru. Mahesha Avesha Hoila Sachira Nandana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became in the mood of Lord Shiva. Taras Kande Chadi Nrutya Kaila Bahukshana. He climbed on his shoulders and he started dancing. Ekadina Asi Eka Shivera Ghayana Damaru Bajaya Ghaya Shivera Katana. So one day one person came and he started singing by glories of Lord Shiva with Damaru, with the music. Aila Karite Bhiksha Prabhura Mandire. He came to beg food from the house of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gahaya Shivara Gita Vedi Nrutya Kare. So then in the street itself he was chanting and he was dancing. Shankarera Guna Suni Prabhu Vishwambara, as he heard the glories of Lord Shiva. Haila Shankara Murti Divya Jatadhara. He accepted the mood of Lord Shiva. He became like Lord Shiva. He was like a Jatadhara Murti. Eka Lamfe Ute Tara Skandera Upare. In one jump, he climbed the shoulders of that person who is singing. Hunkara Kariya Bole Muni say Shankara. I am Lord Shiva. He loudly shouted. Keha Deke Jata Shinga Damaru Bajaya. Bola Bola Mahaprabhu Bolaya Sadaya. Some people saw Mahaprabhu with matted locks, playing a horn and Damaru, and he was singing, everybody chant, everybody chant. Say Mahaprabhu Yata Shiva Gita Gaila, Paripurna Falatara Ekatra Paila. That person, the whole life, he has been glorifying Lord Shiva. The result he has obtained in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's association. Seita Gaila Gita Niraparade Gaurachandra Arohana Kaila Taraskande. Because he chanted the glories of Lord Shiva without any offense, Lord climbed on his body because he became purified by singing the glories of Lord Shiva. Bahya Pai Namilena Prabhu Vishwambara Apana Dilena Bhiksha Julira Bhitare. So when he came out of the consciousness, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he got down and personally gave Bhiksha to that Brahmana who has come there, singing the glories of Lord Shiva. Krutartha Hoya say Purusha Chalila Haridvani Sarvagane Mangala Utila. So being fully satisfied, the singer left, all the devotees chanted the holy name of Lord Hari. So this is a pastime which we come across in Chaitanya Mangala, Chaitanya Bhagavata and Chaitanya Charitamrita. The first 2 verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is elaborated in Chaitanya Bhagavata. So whenever Yatra Gayanti Madbhaktaha Tatra Tishtami Narada, wherever my devotees' glories are chanted, Lord becomes situated there. Because the greatest Vaishnava is Lord Shiva, Lord Vishwambara accepted that mode and exhibited he is non-different from Lord Shiva, so that the Vaishnava can always be certified by the Lord. Lord tries to glorify his devotees, and devotees tries to glorify the Lord. There is a competition going on eternally between the Lord and the devotee. And most of the times, the devotee wins by his devotional service. So we'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 9133